Yo, so if you like that video, press on that like button, and if you want to see more videos of that kind, subscribe. This is a really cool way to help your boy out. And I have been having a hard time realizing why you should go with the Ryzen 5 3600 XT, and after like a long thought, I think it's not that worth it. So let's just, before we get into the reason why, let's just look at some specs and some alleged benchmarks from CPU Monkey. CPU Monkey is a really trusted site and is like a huge database for, CPU benchmarks with Cinebench R20 and Cinebench R15. Single core and multi-threaded core, but as usual, take all these things considered with a grain of salt and just don't trust them. They may be better in terms of performance or worse. They've been so accurate before with the Ryzen 3300X and 3100, so hopefully this would be like what we are going to see from the 3600 XT. And this CPU with the 3900 XT and the 3800 XT are expected to launch somewhere in mid-July. Now the best case scenario for this CPU, which is the 3600 XT, is to see somewhat of a gaming performance difference when you compare it to the Ryzen 3600X, but we already know that the boost clock will be 0.1 GHz higher than the Ryzen 3600X, because when we're looking at the Ryzen 3600X, we see like overclocked at around 4.4 GHz on its best days, and it sometimes get away with like 4.3 GHz. So I'm not having a huge bet on how this CPU will pair when you overclock it, all cores considered. Now with that said, you might be asking yourself why I'm not recommending this CPU. I mean, it's a really good CPU, it's a solid replacement for the 3600X for a simple reason. So the Ryzen 7 3700X is on Amazon right now for $275. It's an 8-core 16-threaded CPU, and when you compare the single core performance on Cinebench R15 or R20, you'd find there's only like 2 to 3% difference between it and the 3600X, and pretty much the same performance according to CPU Monkey, the same results when you look at the 3600 XT and the 3700X, but disregarding that the 3600 XT has more clocks out of it. Alright, so as of recording this video 12 hours later, we found some latest news on the Ryzen 5 3600 XT. It was spotted on 3dmark, I believe, TimeSpy benchmark, clocked at around 4.6 GHz. So if it actually could give you that good performance difference in gaming between this CPU and the 3600X, I believe it can be a solid option. But when you compare it to the 3700X, I mean, would you sacrifice this 30 to 40% performance boost in productivity just for that 5%, if any, actually, in some other titles boost in gaming performance? I mean, to me, it doesn't make a lot of sense. And also looking at numbers, and we're only looking at numbers, maybe that's an exceptional case. The best Ryzen CPU in gaming is the Ryzen 9 3950X. So I don't think we will see any CPU from these XT models, the budget ones, would be even close to it. I mean, that's like, I believe, a $700 CPU or something. So, but if it could actually do that, and we'll see, it's awesome. It will give you a lot of value for money. But really though, like that 5% performance boost to me doesn't make any sense. I mean, a 3700X, you'd get a lot of like more value out of it, and if you want that really good gaming value, I believe you should go for the 10600K anyways, unless the 3600X brings something different to the table. And apparently from all these leaks and the CPU Monkey benchmarks, we're not gonna see a lot of them. But again, as I said, take them all with a grain of salt. I hope I'm wrong, I really hope I'm wrong. And yeah, let's get back to it. But that's an 8-core 16-threaded CPU. You're getting a huge improvement when it comes to all these CPU intensive tasks and 3D modeling and a lot of these intensive benchmarks and streaming, of course. This will serve you so well for around the same price, or like $25 difference. So that's why I would recommend you to get the 3700X right now over the 3600 XT, assuming that the gaming performance difference will not be that huge. I mean, this CPU is the equivalent price to the 10600K, but the thing is that you can't find the 10600K anywhere now. And the 10600K is the best gaming CPU you can get right now in the market. There isn't anything matching it. And the highest performing CPU in gaming from the AMD Ryzen series is the Ryzen 9 3950X, which is a $700 CPU, and correct me if I'm wrong. I doubt that these XT models will have the same gaming performance, but also this is between all the Ryzen series CPUs. When we get into the Intel 10th gen CPUs, the 10600K is the fastest this one. That's why I would recommend the 3700X, getting a lot of value for money if you went for the 3700X instead. And I would recommend you to get it right now before the 3600 XT drops, because we might see something similar to what happened to the Ryzen 5 1600 AF and the Ryzen 3100. The 1600 AF was an $85 CPU that has a really good value for money. A week or two before the release of the 3100, it went out of stock, and then we found out that the performance of it in gaming is pretty much equivalent to the 3100, and when it came back in stock, it was for $100. So if you want to save money here, I would recommend you go with the 3700X now, because it may go higher in price and we would see something similar to that. But these are just, you know, some speculations. You might want to take them with a grain of salt. Again, the best case scenario for these XT models for gaming is to have that gaming performance equivalent to the 3950X. And myself, I'm looking forward to the 3800 XT, an 8-core 16-threaded CPU that you can push all the way up to 4.7 gigahertz. Seems to be like a great deal for me, and I'm pretty sure, like, on paper should give you some really great gaming performance. And for that debate about, well, the 10600K when you compare it to the 3600 XT comes with a stock cooler, while, you know, the 10600K doesn't. AMD themselves recommend you to go with a liquid cooler with these CPUs, even though the 3600K comes with one. So that extra $60 to $80 difference that you are going to pay on a budget liquid cooler with the 10600K would give you massive improvements in performance when it comes to games. So hey, that's been it for that quick video. If you like that video, press on that like button again and subscribe. Come on, what's freaking holding you back? And links will be down below to the available parts right now, because these are some really crazy at times that we're not used to. So there might be some things out of stock, or a lot of things out of stock, but probably the 3700X is not. And check out the $1000 3700X gaming PC. I'm pretty sure the eye is here. So hey, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one, and peace.